You ever needed to hydrate so bad, but you wouldn't pump this thing 100 times to get just a amount of water? It's like, how many licks does it take to get to a center of a Tootsie Roll? How many pumps does it take to fill up a water bottle?
Well, it's been a long time since I left where I'm from. To start the journey I'm still on to get to you. You see, I've come a long way. I'm not the man I was.
Happy vacation. I don't even know what day of the week it is. Hello, adventurers, and welcome to we're at a harvest host tonight. We're in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
We have just left New York State.
Mm-hmm.
So a number of days ago, we left. We went through Vermont and New Hampshire, the skinny states, I call them.
Mm-hmm.
And we drove across the state of New York. So we visited Albany, Rochester,
Yeah.
Niagara Falls, Buffalo,
Yeah.
and a whole bunch of farmland in between.
Yeah.
First night, we stayed at a place called Dellavale Farms. Dellavale?
As a southerner, I would have said Dale Vale. Dale Valley.
It was a dairy farm and passed down through many generations.
Yeah.
To the current owners.
Mm-hmm.
Mom and dad still live on the farm, but daughter and her husband run the farm.
Yeah. Kind of manage and run everything.
Yeah. It's right by the highway, which is across from a truck stop on the I-90
Corridor.
Yeah. It's quiet. It's one spot. It's paved. Highly recommend staying there if you get a chance to stay there.
Yes.
So they came by. It was rainy when we got there, but they came by and knocked on the door. We went out and chatted for a moment. And super nice. They have these two cool dogs.
They do.
That wake up the cows.
Uh-huh.
But
The
anyway.
dogs are 2.5 years old, very well trained. One is like the guardian farm dog itself, and the other one kind of is the barn dog, and they work together both on the land and in the barn. Incredibly well trained. Yeah. So
Mom,
that was really cool.
Mom comes to the door. We fill out our little harvest host thing, and she says, "Hey, they're going to milk cows at 9 o'clock tonight. If you'd like to join." And Blair lit up.
I said, "Oh, that's really late. That's past our bedtime." But I would not miss the opportunity to go see what it's like.
What's up, Blair?
Hi.
What's up?
It's late,
And?
and we're going to milk cows.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Sweet. Still a dirty job.
It is a dirty job.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it had been raining for many days, so the cows have been inside for a long time, and I'm sure they were ready to get out to pasture.
My favorite part of the night was meeting 2 3-day-old baby calves and giving them bottles. Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to touch them?
Yeah.
Guys! Oh my gosh! Hello! You're brand new!
Yeah, that's when their neck is stretched.
Okay. So a little bit of tension.
Yeah.
And this is fresh milk?
Yeah. It just came out of the jar. It'll take them a second to get used to getting it back. I haven't fed them through the bars yet before.
I know yours is coming. Hey. Bite my finger. Oh, sorry.
On the run. It's been so long, I don't know what I'm running from. And everywhere I go, my problems, they still seem to show. All I know.
What's up?
I got a little cow poop on my leg. All the way up.
Fingers. Or what pulled the milk out of the cow? But there is a vacuum on it, so don't put your hand on it.
Yeah.
That's what holds it on.
Okay.
So, it's about,
And just take it and wipe it off. You don't have to. Just make sure it gets dry. You're not going to be too aggressive with it. Alright. So then this thing aims between your red legs. Yeah. And there's a button under here that makes the vacuum. Okay. And when you get the vacuum on, you got the sheet? Yep. That one goes on this back one over here. Can I start the vacuum before it? Yeah. Yeah, it won't stay on it. No. There you go. Now take your other tip.
that's it. You can let it go.
Right? Yeah. It was a cool experience.
Really neat experience.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend it. It's if you're going to be in the Albany area, go check them out.
Yep.
It's 30 minutes from Albany, maybe.
Maybe not even that much.
Yeah.
It's slightly west of downtown Albany.
Yeah. From there, we left and drove across and went to the Toy Hall of Fame,
We did. Yes.
And-
it was outside of Rochester.
Rochester, New York.
It's called the
Strong National Museum of Play.
Strong National Museum of Play. And they have the Toy Hall of Fame, and it's broken down by different decades and different years of toys, and absolutely incredible and interactive on so many levels.
If you have kids,
Ugh.
you must go to this place.
You must go when it opens, and you will be there until it closes.
If you are a kid at heart, like we both are, you must go to this place because,
It's so cool.
man, it was so much fun. And they have this cool grocery store because I believe every kid at some point in their life
Wants to be a cashier.
And
Yes.
this one has the beep scanner, and it has a whole grocery store just
Whole
on
grocery store.
everything. But it had all these products, and this has a food court, and it has a little cafe.
Mm-hmm. Bakery.
So we saw Sesame Street, and we got to take a picture at Sesame Street steps.
Yes.
We saw every toy you could ever imagine.
Oh my gosh. All the way back into the 1800s.
Anywhere else I go. Looking back, it all seems so clear. Though I'm not sure how it that here. But it don't seem that healthy to me, running over roads.
We played pinball.
We played pinball. I was so excited about pinball.
It was really neat.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I think about the road.
How cool is that?
It reminds me that there's still something to be found on the road. It's been so long, I don't know what I'm running from. And everywhere I go, my problems, they still seem to show. All I know
Oh my gosh, I hit
is there ain't nothing that could happen here. Wouldn't happen there or anywhere else I'd go.
They have a Oregon Trail. I wanted to
Oh,
play
yes.
Oregon Trail so bad. It wasn't
If you
working.
get tokens down on the bottom floor with
Mhm.
all the pinball machines, save some because there's more arcades up on the top.
Yes.
And they're doing more construction, so we assume they're going to add more areas around to go play and do stuff in. But it was such a good stop.
It was awesome.
It was a really good stop.
And it was a very impromptu decision, which was nice because we were watching the news the day before, and we had seen.
What was going to be in how to vote on the new inducted or the new. You could vote on the new toys nominated to be in the Toy Hall of Fame.
Yes. For
And Blair-
2021.
Blair voted for what?
I voted for the American Girl doll, but there's so many good ones.
Yes.
I think there's 12 to choose from, and of the 12, I wanted 9 of them to win. And it was so good. Like, it was such a tough call.
What did I-
No.
There's a little bit of rain coming in. To be continued. Hello, friends, and welcome back to our after action of the state of New York, take number 2, because it started to rain.
It did.
So it's a whole new day.
Yep.
The next morning,
Mhm.
as opposed to last night.
As opposed to last night.
It rained most of the night, but we had a very, very nice, cool
It was very
sleep.
relaxing,
Yeah.
soothing.
Next,
And-
after we left there, we went to Hamlin, New York, and we stayed at the Brightly Farm
Mhm.
Harvest Host.
Yes, it's a farm store,
It
farm
is
and store. You walk in those doors and you think it's just going to be a
Overwhelming.
farmer's market or a market. They have everything.
Yes.
I mean, everything from the freshest butter and tomato you could find in the garden, all the way to a full bedroom set and a handmade quilt
and a winery.
and a wine room with
Yeah.
tastings.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was incredible.
Mhm.
But yeah, their farm and store is incredible. They have so much to offer.
We were chatting with the 2 ladies there, and they said if you come in here in 2 weeks, it'll look totally different because they
Mhm.
just stuff gets moved around. This
Yeah.
gets sold, that gets moved. This, I think the owner goes down to Pennsylvania and gets some Amish
Mhm.
furniture and brings it back. And,
Mhm.
but outside, there's all sorts of things outside. There's some goats and chickens, a huge solar farm, and some
Yeah.
greenhouses.
Yeah.
It's really just a fantastic stop.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, we drove 10 minutes north to Lake Ontario, which was really cool.
Blair got to put her toes in the water.
To put my toes in the water in Lake Ontario. Piper
Pop-
went for a swim.
Papa put her whole self in the water, and then did zoomies around the yard.
And then did zoomies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
So we saw Lake Ontario. Then we drove down to or over to, I guess, Niagara Falls,
Mhm.
and we stayed at the KOA there for
Yeah.
a couple nights. And this KOA is pretty fantastic.
Mhm.
There's a gigantic pool and playground and horseshoe pit.
Yeah, yard games.
All the games. There's
Yeah.
like a bouncy house, just the bottom part of a bouncy house, so you can jump on it.
Mhm.
There's
A swing set, a playground.
yes,
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
huge campground too. It's
Huge.
many spots.
Yes, very many. And very well spaced. Like a lot of times you'll be right on top of each other. This had a lot of green space. They had a lot of cabins. They had a lot of tent sites. Most of them are pull-through sites. I think there's only
Yes.
10 or 12 that are back-end sites. So yeah, it was, and it's 15 minutes from Niagara Falls.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a toll.
And a toll.
There's tolls everywhere. in
There's
New
tolls
England, by the way.
everywhere.
If you're not familiar with New England anywhere, so once you get like Virginia, Northern Virginia, and north,
North of the Mason-Dixon,
everywhere is a
Yep.
toll.
there are quite a few tolls.
Man, we have spent some toll money.
Yeah.
But if you're going to come travel through this area, get you an easy pass,
Yes.
put it in the windshield, and just go.
Yeah.
Because you get a discount
Mm-hmm.
if they charge you by tag. Whew, hurt my feelings when that happened
It
before.
would be bad.
Yeah, but get an easy pass.
And have it auto renew
Yeah.
off your credit card or bank account
Works
because
like a champ.
it just helps you out.
Yeah.
And then we wandered over to the Niagara Falls State Park just to wander the state park that day. Went to a couple of viewpoints and
Only time will tell. Shed light on things I try to dispel. All the good and the bad as I think about what I've had.
And then the following day, we did all things Niagara. So started out with Maid of the Mist, which was pretty incredible. We have been there separately.
You did from the
I did it
Canada
from-
side.
I did it from the Canada side. From the Canada side, probably 10 or 12 years ago. It was absolutely incredible. I would do it again. It's a cool experience.
We did not go to Canada this time because you're required to get a
Negative
Negative
COVID
COVID
screen
test.
within a 48-hour period. We had our vaccine cards, but
we didn't want
we
to
weren't
spend
going to be
money.
there long enough to go over for just one day.
How's Niagara?
that?
675,000 gallons per second.
Made of the Mist, Cave of the Winds. So Blair got to
Yes.
experience what it's like standing in a hurricane because, man, is it strong.
Yeah.
It's nuts,
That's awesome.
but really cool.
Yeah.
So I'll continue to look to the new. Try not to dwell on what is through. And keep on in the pursuit of whatever makes me a better man. On the road, it's been so long I don't know what I'm running from. And everywhere I go, my problems they still seem to show. All I know is there ain't nothing I could ever hear.
I understand why they call it Cave of the Wind.
How was that, Blair?
So much fun.
Yeah, did you go to the hurricane deck?
I have a hurricane facial, courtesy of some wet water
Yeah.
and some raging winds.
Yeah, pretty great.
Stepped in the American Niagara Falls.
I drank from it inadvertently because it blew in my mouth.
How did it taste?
Fresh.
Fresh?
Yeah. If you've never been to the
Cave of the Wind.
Cave of the Winds,
On
it's
the
a
American side.
must go on the American side, yeah.
Yes.
People run from rain, but pay to go stand in this.
We did.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was fun.
yeah, it's good.
I would do that again.
100%. So it's not just walk down here. There's a movie that plays, talks
Oh,
about
yeah.
power and what the falls looked like in the 1800s with all the industrial complex that was built here, just taken away from the natural beauty and landscape.
The conservation efforts
Yes,
that they took.
really wonderful. So
Yeah.
the Niagara Falls State Park is the oldest state park in the nation, and it's a
Yeah.
really great place to visit.
It was kind of the forefather of the national park system
Yeah.
for the U.S.
Let's go home. Cook a steak.
Steak.
So,
Unfathomable.
if-
There's a point of no return
Yeah.
on the
That's right,
American
when the-
side. It's like where all the rapids start, and
And
there's
they
like
call
a
them Class 6 rapids. I call them Class 4,000.
oof, man, rough. But from that point of no return, you have 3 minutes before you're over the falls.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty slow. I thought it would be,
And it's a, 50-foot drop
55?
from the point of no return down to the fall?
Oh, yeah, 55. So there's a 55-foot drop from the actual point of no return to the actual start of the American Falls, which it looks like it's just gradual. Like you wouldn't think that.
Yeah.
Maybe 10, 12, 20 feet, but it's a pretty significant drop.
Exceptional.
Yes.
The Trolley Tour, which costs $3 per person, meh. If you have trouble walking, take it.
Mm-hmm.
If you can walk, just walk.
Yeah, it's nice for limited mobility and disability and whatnot because it does take you to all parts of the park that
Yeah.
you would want to go see and potentially could go see anyway.
If you are traveling in an RV, there's a giant parking lot within the state park there
Oh,
that
yeah.
you can park in. Again, a big parking lot to park your RV in if you want to. There's some navigating around some turns and things like that, but I think it's easy to get in and out of for
I would
most big
agree.
RVs. There was a
Yeah.
giant bus there pulling a car. So
Yes.
if they can get in, most everybody else can get in.
Yeah, it was good. And then from Niagara, we spent a day in Buffalo as well.
Mhm.
There was a Buffalo Bills game going on. It was an away game, so there was
The block party.
there was a block party. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I haven't seen that before. It's like the downtown area of Buffalo. They have these giant block parties when it's nice out, and
Yeah.
you pay $10 to get in.
Yep.
And all the businesses are open, and you go in and
Food,
And,
drink,
yeah.
big screen,
fellowship,
projection.
camaraderie.
Yeah.
It's really good. But we went to downtown Buffalo to actually see the Teddy Roosevelt inauguration spot. So
Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt was on vacation in Vermont when as the vice president and his then president was shot.
Mhm.
William McKinley
McKinley.
was shot while at not when the World's Fair, but
It was the what's the word for it?
they turned on all the lights and
Yeah.
did all I forget it's like a World's Fair, but it was about Expo in Buffalo, New York.
hmm
the president was shot, and he lived for 5 days, and finally succumbed to his wounds and died. And Roosevelt came over via horse and buggy, horse and buggy, and train. So like planes, trains, and automobiles before planes. But he got back to Buffalo, and he was sworn in as president of the United States in this house. So this was some friends of his from his time in New York. And they take you through and the room where you can see where he was sworn in as president, and kind of a museum on this fair of sorts. Yeah. It was way more, and I don't know, involved is not the word, but they it's like a production. Like they come out and they say, all right, we're taking you back to this time when this happened, and they kind of walk you through the day, what it was like in the room, and everything else. So it's a mostly preserved house. Upstairs they have an office set up just like what used to be the Oval Office. So before the Oval Office was an Oval Office, because Teddy Roosevelt built the West Wing. So before the West Wing was there, the president's office was a square, and they have a replica of what his office looked like.
So from what we saw, there's a lot of cool things that are going on in Buffalo itself. It because of the World Expo that was a 6-month process from May until December, hundreds of thousands of individuals came through Buffalo, most of which, or some of which, stayed, which then kind of had this booming effect to the area. Niagara Falls was producing power that was then routed to Buffalo. This industrial revolution just blew up from there. So and I think
it's at the end of the Erie Canal system. So from New York, you go up the Hudson River, and then you can come all the way across the Erie Canal, which is really cool. And to think of the transportation back in the day.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It was a booming era, of which has calmed down a good bit since. So
So from our observations, Buffalo looks to be an up and coming downtown area city, which I think has been dormant for some time. Since the Bills were in contenders for the Super Bowl, so it's been a while.
But there's still plenty of fans there. Gosh,
absolutely,
man, it was cool to see. Yeah, it was cool to see on a game day weekend.
From New York State, so we didn't go to New York City. We've been there many times before, but we covered the Upstate, all the Upstate of New York. And it's a beautiful state.
It is.
On the road, it's been so long I don't know what I'm running from. And everywhere I go, my problems, they still seem to show.
What do you want, weirdo?
What's going on?
They were out the next morning when we left.
Shall we try again?
Let's go.
Whoa, I'm spilling coffee on myself.
What are you doing, wife?
All right, carry on.